If you are learning Python, you may have seen two similar things, lists and tuples. Both can store multiple items, but they are not the same. In this lesson, I will explain the difference step by step with simple examples. By the end, you'll understand exactly when to use a list and when to use a tuple. First, let's clear the basics. A list is written with square brackets. A tuple is written with parentheses, also known as round brackets. Both can store multiple items like numbers, strings, or even other lists and tuples. But there are important differences, and that's where things get interesting. For example, here is my list 1, 2, 3 in square bracket, and here is my tuple 1, 2, 3 in parentheses. In this example, my list is a list and my tuple is a tuple. The numbers inside are the same, but notice the difference in brackets. Lists use square brackets and tuples use parentheses, also known as round brackets. This small difference in brackets will lead to very different behavior when we start working with them. Both lists and tuples can hold many types of data. They are not limited to numbers only. Look at this example. A student at Sibach 23.5. Location, Ethiopia 9.145, 40.489. In the first example, the list called student contains three different things, a name, an age, and a grade point average. In the second example, the tuple called location stores information about a country and its coordinates. So, both lists and tuples can hold mixed data, not only numbers. This makes them very flexible. Now we come to the most important difference. A list is mutable. This means we can change it after creating it. A tuple is immutable. This means we cannot change it after creating it. For example, here is a list of fruits. Here we started with a list of 3 fruits. The second item was banana. We changed it to orange. When we print the list, we see apple, orange, and cherry. This is possible because list can be modified. Here is a tuple example. Colors, red, green, blue. Then update colors at position 1, yellow. In this example, we try to change the tuple colors, but Python will give us an error if we try to assign a new value. This happens because tuples are fixed. Once you create them, you cannot change, add, or remove items. So the big rule is lists can change, tuples cannot. Why not just use lists for everything? Here are 3 reasons. Tuples are safer when you want data to stay the same. Tuples are a little faster because Python knows they will never change. Tuples can be used as keys in a dictionary, while lists cannot. So the choice is not random. If your data is constant, a tuple is the better choice. If your data is flexible and will change, then use a list. Let us compare both with real-life cases. Shopping cart, milk, bread, and eggs. Then append better to the shopping cart. Print shopping cart. Here we have a shopping cart represented as a list. We started with 3 items. Then we added better using the .append method. The list is updated to include the new item. This works perfectly because shopping carts always change. You add or remove items depending on what you buy. Here is a tuple example. Days of week, Monday to Sunday. Then print days of week at position 0. Here we have the days of week stored in a tuple. Why a tuple? because the days of the week never change. There will always be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and so on. By using a tuple, we make sure no one can accidentally add an extra days or change the names. When we print the first item, we see Monday. The data is safe and constant. Lists come with many tools, which we call methods. These allow us to work with the list in useful ways. For example, here we have a list of numbers and we append to the list numbers, and then we sort the numbers. Finally, we print numbers. Here, we started with the list 3, 1, 4. Then the dot append to method adds the number 2 at the end. The dot sort method arranges the numbers in order. When we print, the list becomes 1, 2, 3, 4. So lists are very powerful when you wanna manage and update collections of data. Here is a tuple example. Letters A, B, A. Then print letters.count A, print letters.index B. Tuples have very few methods because they cannot be changed. The .count A method tells us how many times the letter A appears. In this case, it appears 2 times. The .index B method tells us the position of the letter B. Therefore, the answer is 1, because Python starts counting from 0. That's all. Tuples are simple and do not give us many tools, since they are not meant for editing. Let us review everything we learned in this lesson. Lists use square brackets. They can be changed, and they have many methods. Use them when data is flexible. Tuples use round brackets. They cannot be changed. They are faster and safer for fixed data. Think of it this way. A list is like a notebook. You can write, erase, or add notes anytime. A tuple is like a sealed box. Once you close it, nothing inside changes. That's the difference between lists and tuples in Python. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next lesson.